Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie, president of Advantage Retirement Group.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor radio show. I'm Alfie, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional here with Pastor John Antonucci, and we have a lot to talk about. I hope you weren't one of those that listened to Jim Cramer. We're going to talk about that. So stay tuned and get ready.
Yeah, good morning, Southwest Florida. You know, today's topic from turmoil to turnaround, how tariffs, inflation, and AR are reshaping the market. Alfie's got an action-packed show for you, but jot his number down, 239-747-1077. Listen, we've got a brand new high net worth toolkit that's available for everyone today. Inside this complimentary toolkit, you're going to get retirement planning, you're going to get business and succession, investment opportunities, estate and tax planning, and even charitable strategies that you can obtain for your retirement strategy. Pick up the phone, call Alfie right now. He is Southwest Florida's premier certified financial planner, 239-747-1077. All you have to do is ask the operator or text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Get your high net worth toolkit today. Don't hesitate. Pick it up while supplies last. And Alfie, the markets are rocking and rolling. Trump has had an incredible time over in Saudi Arabia, UAB, many different places in the Middle East.
Oh, yeah.
And great things are happening.
I mean, I think it's going to be about, $3 trillion when it's all said and done just from over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a mover and a shaker. I was watching him a couple days ago, talking to our military, and Pete Hegseth did a great job introducing him, and it was like just a mini rally, and he's had over 900 rallies. So this guy is truly a professional and knows how to work the crowd. Again, people want to do business with here in the United States. It's totally different than what it was just 4 years ago. It's we were almost getting laughed at. Now we're definitely looked up to again, which is nice. And like you said earlier, from turmoil to turnaround, and this market has been on a tear. It wasn't too long ago that these tariffs were going to be that just really created a lot of havoc. And it's no one likes tariffs, but Trump likes them because it does raise a lot of money. And even with this deal that they're working on with China, it's a 90-day pause on these tariffs. But they lowered it, but we had no tariffs really to speak of. But now we still, we have some and they have some, but they're the same percentage, which is not anything. That was our biggest deficit that we had with them.
Yeah, and you have to say the tariffs are definitely working on every level. I mean, bringing China to the table and bringing in billions of dollars a day into our country. I mean, it's a positive move for America First agenda, which we never had.
Yeah, well, we had the first 4 years when he was here, and people didn't like it. But that's the thing. If you put America first, and like he said, America first, and we're still going to take care of these other countries, but we're looking at us first, which is nice. So let's talk a little bit about on April 4th, Jim Cramer. We have a friend, John, a mutual friend of ours. He calls him the Antichrist of investing.
Yeah.
And he's this guy's a big time money manager that said that. And he said Jim Cramer was warning after President Trump talked about all these tariffs that it was going to be a Black Monday cycle type of crash. And pretty much, people were preparing for taking out their money. And the thing about it is this: you don't know what you don't know. Okay. And we'll never know what the market's going to do because, just like this past week, there was earnings, and not just earnings, but there was numbers that came out for the unemployment claims, and that was positive. Inflation was positive. So we don't know if if it's going to be bad news or good news when these numbers come out. So that's why it's so hard to take your money in and out of the market. And Charles Payne, he was the speaker at one of our conventions, and he was saying that it was reckless with what Jim Cramer really did, and it is reckless because people listen to these people. It's like what Trump was talking about with these TV generals. He calls them, these ones that are on TV, retired generals. They call them TV generals. He was explaining. He was talking to Washington how long, they were saying it's going to take 4 or 5 years to get rid of ISIS. And it was, and 4 or 5 years. He talked to other generals, and then he was telling the story this past week about. Did you hear that? Where when he went over, he wanted to fly to Iraq. Remember when he went to Iraq and he had to turn off all the lights and land in the dark? And he's telling the story, and he talked to this general, and the general's name is Kane, and he said, well, what's your first name? He goes, Raising. They call him Raising King. He goes, I like you. I like you. So he goes, how long would it take to win this war? To get rid of ISIS. And because they're telling me in Washington, 4 to 5 years. He goes, I need 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. He goes,
bunker bombers. Remember they would things.
And he goes, well, why are they saying this? He goes, well, because what we need to do is when we fly over there, we bomb, then we have to fuel up and fly back and forth. What we need to do is put temporary landing spaces over there so we can just bombard them and overwhelm them. And that's what, and that's what they did. So it was the leaders that and the same thing goes with investing.
Yeah.
You have to have leaders, and that's what we have with our team here at the Advantage Retirement Group, but we hire leaders to help us manage our clients' money. These are managers that you would not have access to. You would not be able to utilize them and utilize the tools and the services and the products that we use without these connections that we have. And you need to take advantage of them because we have products and services that is not around here in Southwest Florida. You're getting top-notch products and services, and when you can get that 15% interest on your income, 8%. If you want, there's different vehicles that, and I'm not talking about annuities. We have annuities, but I'm talking about these are true contractual guarantees that you can get some serious income. If you're getting 15%, that means that you don't have to put a whole lot of money in there to get the income that you need, and then we can invest your other money. So there's a lot of things that we do here at the Advantage Retirement Group because of the leadership we have and the managers that we have, that we selected with our partners. So this is something that, if I were you, I would take advantage of it and come in and let us show you what we do here at the Advantage Retirement Group, because it's all about, who and really how to put an income plan together and a total certified financial planner review plan. We look at everything, your income, your taxes, your legacy, and we're going to, put that plan together for you.
Yeah, just as Raising Cane was able to take ISIS out in just a couple of months, when people were saying 3-4 years, Alfie has designed a strategic plan and strategy called the Retirement Simulator Process that will help get you to and through retirement. Listen, if you're 5 to 10 years from retirement or you're currently retired, you want to take advantage of his wealth of knowledge of over 40 years experience as a certified financial planner professional, as a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not to any products or services that he does offer here through the Advantage Retirement Group. What you want to do is you want to sit down with him in Fort Myers or Naples. He'll do a deep dive into your current portfolio and see what's really going on. He's going to expose all the hidden fees that could be eating up your returns each and every year. Going to make sure that you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly, that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting each and every year. And he's going to put together a retirement plan and a strategy that is custom, tailor-made specifically for your goals and your vision for your retirement. Listen, visit with him in Fort Myers or Naples. You have to be one of the first 9 callers right now. You can't hesitate. You can't procrastinate. Pick up the phone, tell the operator I want to meet with Alfie, or text the word VISIT, VISIT, to 239-747-1077. You owe it to yourself to sit down with Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional. Call the operator or text the word VISIT, VISIT, 239-747-1077. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. You know, Alfie has written his second book, number 2, and he is working on a third. And his book is always in high demand. Due to popular demand, Alfie is offering a complimentary copy of his book. It awaits you. All you have to do to claim your free copy is call the operator, say, I want Alfie's brand new book, or I want to just text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the valuable insights, including many, many stories about investors that he has helped over his 40-year career as a certified financial planner professional. He's named this broadcast Saving the Investor Radio Show because he wants to save you from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. Pick up the phone, ask the operator for the book, or text the word BOOK to 239-747-1077. Get it today. And Alfie, we're talking about Jim Cramer, who really instills fear in people. I think a lot of what he says causes the market really to go down because people begin to believe him and get money out. But that was devastating if people listened to him and took their money out in this market that we've been in, aren't they?
And if you know President Trump, he is a person that will make some serious statements, and he will rattle the market. And when he rattled the market, it was with these tariffs, and it was called Liberation Day, and it was not too liberating for investors because the market really went down. But then if you knew and if you trusted the president, you would know he was going to have a plan and come back with a plan. And it started with the UK. He got a deal with the UK. There's many other ones he's getting deals with right now. And then this past week was a big one with China.
Right.
He got the one with China, 90-day pause, and pretty much, it's a 10% tax on each of us, that country and our country, plus another 20% for fentanyl. So it's really 30% tariff on stuff that comes over here. But that was up to 145. It was.
Well, we buy everything from them. They don't really buy much from us.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's got.
But he wants to have it where you open up the market for us, and that's what's nice. So we're gonna have, I think with our farmers and stuff, especially, there's a lot of stuff that we can soybean stuff. So with that, I want to also talk about. So if you would have listened to that bad, or just listen to yourself and let the emotion get in your way, or listen to your financial advisor that was maybe panicking right along with Jim Cramer. So there's a lot of them out, out there. But since that big April 4th, the downturn, the market, the S&P has been up 16%, and this is some individual stocks that really just skyrocketed since then. So if you sold your Meta, your Facebook, that's a 30% gain you lost. If you sold your Tesla, how about a 36% gain you lost? So there's this one's HIMS is a do you know what HIMS is?
That's not the male enhancement type stuff. It is.
Yeah, and you know who owns
42%?
142%. But you know who's a big owner of that? J-Lo and Alice Rodriguez.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even though they're not together anymore, they have business together, and they're so that's a big one. So you have a lot of companies that made a lot of money, but if you would have sold because of panic, you would have. Yeah, that's where I always say we make our clients money, because we'll have clients, when the markets are going down, we'll have clients that will call, not too many of them, because they know that we have a plan together for them, and we have an income plan, and they know that the markets are going to go up and down. But we'll have a few say, hey, are we okay? What should we do? And what we're encouraging them to do is stay put. If you have excess money, you like that stock, just a month ago, and it's on sale at 20%, at 15%, let's buy some more.
Right.
And that's what we do. We want to, that's where, again, our good friend Warren Buffett, you got to be greedy when everyone's fearful, and fearful when everybody's greedy. And this is exactly what happens on days like this. People that are contrarians make money.
Yeah.
because they're looking for opportunities, and it's hard to buy. It's just hard to buy when the market is when you feel like the market, you have that black cloud over you and the feel like the market is just crumbling down and falling in on you. And that's when you say, no, the market's going to rebound. The market, you have good leadership. It goes back to the leadership. And the leadership that we have, you've seen President Trump in action. You see he works 24/7 almost. He might sleep 2 to 3 hours a day. He thinks sleep is overrated, and he is working for the American people.
Yeah,
He's working for the working
definitely.
people. He really is. So that's what it boils down to is that if you think the market is going to come back now, I'm going to give you some other statistics because everybody was so negative about the market. It's going to be a negative market this year, and now you have these companies, or Goldman Sachs. You have also the managers over at a couple of these other banks that are now predicting 6,500 for the S&P, 7,200. Wells Fargo 7,200 for the S&P. They were talking, it wasn't too long ago. They were talking a negative return for the S&P 500, and now it's in positive territory. So these are all good things.
Yeah. Well, when we talk about 1987, that crash, I mean, and he's comparing that to this time, people were saying the sky is falling, America is doomed. But the track record of the market has been consistently where you've had a pullback like we just had when Trump took office to really a raging economy where, inflation's down, jobs, unemployment is at record.
Unemployment's coming down.
I mean, you have a lot of good things that are happening in this market, which is different even in 87 because, companies are coming out with all these different earnings, which are good, right? And that's what people want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, you have earnings are still holding its own. You have inflation numbers are down. So there are things, hey, look, it's not a utopia out there. There's a lot of work because we had 21 million people come in that, came in uninvited, and we don't know who they are, where they are. So that's going to create some problems for us down the road. So we have that we're dealing with. We have, people on Medicaid, I should say, that it was just, so there's a lot of money being spent on all these people that came in. So this is something that we have to tackle, and that's where you have Kennedy, you have Elon Musk is now going back to work, but he still has his team with Doge. But we have to find a lot of this wasted, because we have to, that big beautiful tax bill that we want to get passed, it's going to most likely going to get passed, John, and our listeners. But the problem is when you're saying no tax on no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. It all sounds good, but you have to really balance it out with, okay, what are we going to cut, or how are we going to raise this revenue to pay for all that stuff?
Right.
Because
a lot of money.
we don't want to add another $5 trillion. That's what they're saying. You're adding another $5 trillion to the debt.
Yeah.
We can't afford to do that. We need to cut the debt down. So one way to cut the debt down is the spending that we're doing. The spending we're doing is more spending than it was in World War II. When we had a war. So this is programs that we have to cut, and we can cut those down. Then we can do all these other things, and the economy is going to rock and roll. Interest rates will come down, and things are going to be very good. But we do have to have a balanced budget would make this market rock and roll. I would look forward to a balanced budget, and then people will come in and accept this thing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the more information that you have, the more prudent decisions and wise planning you can make. And Alfie has put together a financial freedom strategies where you can unlock advanced insights. It's a brand new toolkit that he's designed for high net worth individuals, and you can pick this up complimentary regardless of your income status today. Complimentary gift includes retirement planning, business and succession, investment opportunities, estate and tax planning, and even charitable strategies in retirement. If you want to get this brand new package that's just been designed, matter of fact, if you go to Saving the Investor on YouTube, you'll see the package behind us as we're talking. This package is complimentary. It's a series of booklets that you can get into your possession that will give you the information that you need to guide you in your retirement years. It's complimentary. To get it, all you have to do is call the operator and ask for the toolkit, or simply text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. You want to pick up these financial freedom strategies that Alfie has put together specifically for you as a retiree, or if you're a soon-to-be retiree in a 5 to 10-year window. You want to get a hold of this complimentary toolkit today. Don't hesitate. Pick up the phone, call the operator, or text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Again, Alfie's Toolkit will help you strategize and plan for a successful retirement. Get his toolkit today by calling the operator or text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away.
Welcome back to this Saving the Investor. Again, I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional who loves doing what he's doing. I just really enjoy this. I enjoy, people say, do you enjoy the radio? I say, I enjoy the radio. I enjoy doing TV. And really, my good partner over here, Pastor John Antonucci, got me in both of them. And I to think about when the TV is a story by itself. He got me in it, but man, I tell you what, he threw me in it at that one. The radio, he coached me in it, but TV, he threw me in like a hot potato.
And look at you now.
So I hope you're enjoying the show. We're talking about really so many things with the market. What happened this past week? President Trump over in Saudi Arabia and all these Qatar and Qatar and all this other. It's just amazing how much money he is bringing back to the United States, and the planes that he's selling for Boeing. You would think he's a salesman for Boeing. So it's unbelievable. So you're listening to Saving the Investor, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what happened here in this market, John. It's very unusual when the market goes down. And we're going back to like 1957 to current 25, but the years that the market went down 15% or more, the same time period, usually it doesn't rebound like it did. It's like 57. It was year to date. It ended, the yearly return was -14, and the same thing with the S&P 500 at 62. It was -12. These are all S&P. But there's sometimes that it did have a nice old rebound, like in 09, because the market really went down. It went down in 08. It went down 48%. It ended up being down 38%. So it made some back, but not as much it needed. 09 went down again 25%. And that's a good indicator, because it went down 25%. And you hung in there, but at the end of the year, it was up 23%. In 2020, we had COVID. Hope we never have to deal with something like that again.
That was a positive year, though.
It was a positive year, but it went down in the fastest that it's more than the Great Depression. It lost 30% a matter of like 22 days, and it ended up being up 16%. If you didn't do anything at the end of the year, it made all that 30 up and then was up 16%. So these are things, that's why we're talking about this. And it went down 15% in 25, the S&P, and we don't know where it's going to end at the end of the year, but it's already a positive right now. And This is what's nice about the market, is that people are going to, there's more people in the market now than at any other time. You have the 401ks, 403bs, IRAs. People are investing. We didn't have these big investments back in the 50s and 60s. We had institutional investing, and it was hard to buy a stock. You had there was a stockbroker that had to sell you a stock.
Yeah.
Now you can buy your own stock. So it's pretty amazing what's out there with technology. But if your advisor is not giving you positive feedback, if he's not in line, with your vision and your really philosophy, you don't want that person. So let us make you successful and put a plan together for you. If you don't know really what you have going on, we have something that's called the retirement simulator. And this retirement simulator, what it does, it will look at everything that you have. When you bring your statements over to us, what we do, it's all, secure, safe. And what we do, though, we analyze it for you. And on that second meeting, we show you what you have going on and why you might not be performing like you should be performing because of your fees. It could be because of what you're in. It could be just you're not diversified. It could be a number of things, but we'll let you know what's going on inside your portfolio. If you'd like to know what that is, with what that's called the retirement simulator, we'll be more than happy to run that for you. And it doesn't cost you anything. It costs you, time to come in, but it is well worth your time really to see what's happening.
Yeah, well, be one of the first 9 callers because that's all Alfie and his team can handle this week. You have to pick up the phone right now. Don't hesitate. Call the operator. Tell them I want to take advantage of what Alfie just discussed, the retirement simulator process. And listen, even if you've been with your advisor for many, many years, why not get a second opinion, especially if you've gone through some bumps and bruises over these past couple of months and they really don't have you in a strategy or a plan that is really to weather the storm. That's what the retirement simulator process is. Just as a pilot goes through training with bad weather and losing engines and all kinds of things that are opposing to his flight, it's the same thing with the retirement simulator process. It will put your portfolio through a stress test and show you if there's any things that can make it crack or insufficient or not planned out well. Alfie will do that for you in Fort Myers or Naples, but you have to be one of the first 9 callers right now. Pick up the phone, call the operator, or text the word VISIT, VISIT, to 239-747-1077. Again, you can visit with him in Fort Myers or Naples. Let him be a second opinion, even if you've been with an advisor for many, many years, or if your advisor isn't local to this area and they come in and out of town, regularly, you want to deal with somebody that's been here for many, many years. Alfie Townsend is Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional. He's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, the individual investor. And whether you are currently retired or soon to be retired within a 5 to 10 year window, pick up the phone right now and call the operator and visit with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. And Alfie, I just looked, I think we've been doing this show since 2011. And in all those years we've been on the radio, only two years where they're down times in the market. Obviously, 2022 was one of the worst ones. Yeah. But, basically everything always seems to come back and even better if you just stay the course. People that are getting in and getting out, getting in and getting out, they're not getting the same, increase in retirement as if they would just stay put, are they?
Yeah, that's it. By doing nothing is better than trying to time the market, because when you're timing the market, you have to be right twice every time. When to get out, when to get back in. So you could be getting out just because the futures, you might say, oh my God, the futures are down. That's what the overnight, that's what typically what the market opens up at, because that's what's happening the day before, the night before, with these, so they can get a good indicator of what the market's going to do. So if the market looks like it's going to be a big downturn before it opens, well, guess what? If you go and say, I'm going to go ahead and sell now, well, what happens is it's going to sell at a down, because when it opens, that's when you're going to be buying.
Hey, you want to sell high, don't you?
Yeah, when that market goes down. And if you say, I'm gonna get in because that market looks like it's rocking and rolling, I'm gonna get in when the market opens, well, good, you're getting in at the high. So it's a complete opposite. If you're not in it, you can't really benefit from what the market's doing. So yes, you are going to take there's risk in everything. So if you're going to get returns, you're going to take some risk. But the thing is, you want to take some risk that is calculated. You have different companies. You have companies that you're confident in. This is a totally different. If you're not investing, for the long term, really you shouldn't be investing, because if you want to just try to make a hit and run, you could do that. That's day trading, but we don't do that here at the Advantage Retirement Group. What we do here is we put a plan together for you, monitor the plan, rebalance, and we're going to adjust that plan. But we want to make sure you have that income coming in. Again, we're generating anywhere between 8 to 15% for your income. Think about that. They say to take 4% out of portfolio, that's it. If you have a $3 million portfolio, that says the rule of thumb is you can take $120,000 out of that a year. That's $3 million. Well, what if we can give you on $1 million, $150,000, and leave $2 million in there, invest for you? That's what I'm talking about. That's big. Yeah. So open up your eyes, give us a call, come in here, and let us show you what we do here. It's different than what you're seeing out there. I can pretty much assure you that you are not going to leave here and say, man, I'm glad I went, because I learned something that my planner wasn't talking to me about. My advisor, we get that all the time. Your son David, he says, people tell him all the time, why didn't my advisor show me this? Well, that's why you're here, because you've heard us and you've seen us, and we're here for the long haul. We're not here. We're here year round. We're not here, when all the snowbirds come back. That's a lot of times the snowbirds come back, then the advisors have a house here. They stay here for 2 or 3 months and they go back up north. No, we're here full time. And our snowbirds that do go back, we take care of them too with our Zoom meetings, but they're here. We're taking care of them personally. They're seeing us eye to eye. If your advisor's up north and you moved here full time, you want an advisor that you can see and come in and have planning sessions with. So you're listening to Saving the Investor. We can't wait to see you. Stay tuned. We have a lot more to talk about. We will be right back.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner Alfie Townsend. Alfie has over 40 years experience, 4-0, as a certified financial planner professional. He is Southwest Florida's premier financial strategist, and we've just seen the fastest drop in market volatility ever recorded. That's a clear sign that smart money is moving back in and confidence is building fast. So here's the question. Are you still on the sidelines? Or maybe it's time to ask, have you outgrown your current advisor? If you're already retired or 5 to 10 years from retirement, you can't afford to wait for clarity. You need a plan designed to thrive in this environment. Don't leave your future to chance. Call or text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. You're going to sit down with Alfie and his incredible team here at the Advantage Retirement Group for a confidential consultation and finally get clarity, the strategy, and the confidence you deserve. This is your window. Don't miss it. Pick up the phone right now. Be one of the first 9 callers. Call or text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, a lot of people are still on the sidelines. I don't know what they're waiting for, but you got people that are listening to us in a 4%, CD or money market, and really they're missing out on so many opportunities of smart investing and smart strategies that you have that aren't tied to the market. A lot of people think, well, I don't want to be exposed to the market. Well, you have so many other products and services that are not tied to the market itself, where they're fully exposed, right?
Yeah, that's right. So there are people come in. Hey, everybody's risk is different. That's why we do a great job at really finding out what your risk number is, because once we can determine that, and we use a great software that really takes, it really puts in a motion when you're picking these answers for your risk number. It's not picking a number between 1 and 10. This is literally going through questions and asking you questions, and you're having to make choices if you're going to take the risk or not take the risk, and it comes out with a number. But once it comes out with that number, then we can build that plan around you. And once you know that you are in something that you're comfortable with risk-wise, then when the market does have volatility, like you said, John, it has volatility throughout the year. You're always, if you don't like volatility, yes, we do have things for you. We have really, like right now, people will say, Alfie, I feel like I'm wanting to go to cash with the new people, but man, I wish there was something out there. So what we have something that can get you that of the S&P. It has an upside between now and the end of the year, like a 14% upside. So if you say, hey, I wouldn't mind if the market goes up 20%, I get 14%. If it goes up 10%, I get 10%. But I want to protect down also. It protects 25% down. So it protects the first 25% down and you get the next 14% up. So, and that's until the end of December. And then we have other ones that, like the structured notes, that give you that 30% downside protection. But what happens is you get that 8% income, a little bit over 8%, but you get that income each and every month. 8% divided by 12. So if you're looking at, let's just say you have $1 million and you want $80,000 of income, you could do that. Get $80,000 of income on $1 million, and then you get that each and every month, and you have protection there. You don't have to really worry about what the market's doing because you have a 30% buffer in there. There's different things we can do. And some people say, Alfie, I want to have, just a fixed annuity that pays, 4.5%, 5%, not have to worry about it and get tax deferred growth. You could do that too. There's different things that we have that can help you. And that's why, as a certified financial planner professional, we have to understand insurance, we have to understand investments, and we have to understand how to get you to and through retirement. So you have advisors out there saying stuff about different products, and if you're not just investing, you're not really looking at the whole picture. That's the thing. You have to look at the whole picture when you're investing, and you have to know about that. Know about what a tender offer is, know about what a structured note is, know about what annuities, know about the Roth conversion. You have to know about different investments, different portfolios, or you're doing the clients a disservice. Yeah. Really, you're doing a client's disservice. So, John, I would, talk to them about coming in. If it's a retirement simulator, if they want to just come in for an appointment, or just, we have our, my son Devin. He really put a lot of time into the Freedom package over here that you can really get a lot of information. I'm going to have John talk about that, then we'll finish with that.
Yeah, this package, I'm looking right at it. And again, if you go to our Saving the Investor channel on YouTube, you not only can hear us like you're hearing us on the radio, you can watch us, and you'll see these booklets behind us here. Devin has put together an incredible financial freedom strategy, which will unlock advanced insights, things that maybe you're not thinking about. First of all, retirement planning. You may say, well, I'm 5 or 10 years away. Well, you want to pick this up because inside this packet of goodies, it's complimentary. It's gifts that Alfie wants to give you that will help get you to and through retirement. You're going to get the retirement planning strategy booklet. You're going to get a business and succession for those of you that own your own business and passing that down to someone else, and investment opportunities, many opportunities and strategies that we don't even talk about on the broadcast today. Alfie highlighted insurance, but that's another way that you can, if you're a high net worth individual, he has some insurance products that are really outside the box that can really create incredible income and strategies for you. Estate and tax planning. Listen, if you're not set up with that, he works with an attorney, one of the top estate planners in our region here, that will help you put together a portfolio for your passing on your legacy down to your heirs. Also, charitable strategies. A lot of you have made a wealth of increase over your lifetime, and you want to be able to give back to the community. Alfie is a proponent of that. He gives to many, many charitable endeavors, and he will guide you and help you establish a strategy that will be a blessing off of the increase that you have. Listen, you want to pick this up. It's complimentary. You owe it to yourself to put it inside your library and have it available for you. It's great information. It's a wealth of information. To get it, all you have to do is call the operator and ask for the Financial Freedom Toolkit, or text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077 if you want to unlock advanced insights and strategies that will help get you to and through retirement. before we go off the air today, pick up the phone right now. Don't hesitate. Call the operator, ask for the toolkit, or text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. You also can go to savingtheinvestor.com. Again, his website. There's a wealth of information about Alfie, his company, and all the services that he offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group. Savingtheinvestor.com.
Thanks, John. And like you said, Devin did put a lot of time in this, and this is there's so much more information here. But if you do want to know about retirement and you want something to read before you give us a call, that's quite all right. But there's plenty of information here that you will understand, and then once you read it, you'll say, okay, you know what, I do need some help with this, and that's what we're here for. We're here to help you, and we spend a lot of time putting these packages together for if you have a large IRA, if you have a sale of a business, you have how to bypass probate, what a trust is, different trusts. So we have all that there for you. And I'll tell you what, today flew by, and this week flew by because this past week, because there was so much. I was like tired, John, watching President Trump.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he does it because these people are, these times are hours difference. Yeah. The time zone's totally different. And
Biden was
oh my gosh. I think
Rubio looked like he was out.
Rubio looked at, and then you also have Clinton. I remember Clinton. It's just hard to do. Hey, I look at myself. I remember going to Vegas, and that night, the first night we were there, we're watching Circus of Olay, and we're in the front there, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. That's like 1, 2 in the morning, and I'm falling asleep there. It's just, I don't know how he does it, but he's an amazing man. I don't know if you ever watched our TV show. It's called Saving the Investor. It's on NBC every Sunday right after Meet the Press at 11 o'clock, and it's a half-hour show, 11 to 11:30. And like you said, John, it's been, 2011 since we...
Yeah.
Goodness me, 14 years on 92.5. It's been a heck of a run. Can't wait to keep running on it, and it's just an opportunity to really, I've seen Jake the Millennial really grow from where he came from, and look what he's doing now. Produces our show, but he's doing much more than that. He's big shot now at 92.5.
Running the whole channel.
I'm very, very proud of Jake the Millennial. So I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Until next week, be blessed.